Hey y'all, welcome to my front porch. Today I want to ask this question. What does love look like? I've been observing people's relationships, and I'm seeing some people go back to a person who has treated them miserably. And all that person says, "Oh, I love you," and say all these nice things, and that's enough for them to come back. It kind of makes me wonder, do these people understand what love looks like? I'm going to say probably not. So, anyway, let's unpack that a little bit. I just want to say that the way you love people says more about you than it says about them. And I think that should be an underlying thing for you and for me as we think about how we love people. Uh, my my understanding, based on the things that I've read and my life experience, tells me that in order for me to love somebody, I'm also making myself very vulnerable and open to being hurt. Y'all, I don't know. I must not be in the right spot in my house because my internet connection just went wonky. But we're talking about love. And one of the first things that Jesus says when we read the Bible is it says, love your enemies. And I'm going to tell you, that don't match up at all with what our society tells us about what love looks like. Um, so I think that kind of will revolutionize some of our ideas about what love is just by looking at that right there. But the thing about real love is that I should expect or understand, realize that in order to love means I'm going to set myself up to be hurt. And we have to be okay with that because you can't love really without being vulnerable. Um, and Jesus taught that the whole way through his through the scripture. Um, every time in the New Testament where it talks about love, it points back to Christ. And I mean, he loved people that actually ended up killing him. And he knew they were going to kill him. And he loved them anyway. In case y'all haven't figured this out yet, love's an action. It's not a bunch of uh, words as much as it is action. Now, obviously, the way you talk to people is important, and I'm not trying to minimize that. But I just want us to understand that love is a verb. Jesus said love causes a person to lay down their life for others. Greater love has no man than this, and a man lay down his life for his friends. Um, I believe that love is giving rather than taking. And some of y'all could just take that right there and analyze the way you love people and the way people love you, and you could probably start categorizing some people that maybe you need to distance yourself from because they're takers. Uh, Speaking of love, I got to put up with this cat right here because he wants some attention. There's Snowball. Anyway, apparently I wasn't good enough for him because he done jumped down. There's a verse in the Old Testament, and my translation is that love overlooks a lot of faults. Um, and I found that in my personal life to be really true. Um, I found that people that I have a hard time putting up with it's because I'm not loving them. So I need to focus on loving that person and overlooking the things that irritate me. I think another quality of love is love frees rather than enslaves. I think love doesn't take revenge. The Bible says that love is patient, love's kind, it's not envious of other people, doesn't boast about what they got and who they are and what they've accomplished. Love is not conceited. Love's not selfish. Love doesn't get easily upset. Love doesn't keep a list of the wrongs that people do to you. Love does not find enjoyment out of other people doing the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing themselves. Love puts up with a lot. It really does. And I just want to encourage you that if you're noticing your community has an issue with loving, fixing that issue starts with you. You start the trend. And if you spend time focusing on how you're treating your family, treating the people you work with, the people you interact with, focus on that, your community ends up starting to change. So I just want to encourage you to start this love revolution and overlook people's faults and just focus on doing things that's good for them. In the end, the way you treat people says more about you. So just love people. If your life sucks, love people. If you don't like the way things are looking in your community, love people. And target those people who would be the least likely for you to interact with. That might blow some minds. Do something radical, y'all. Just love people. This is Uncle Dan on his front porch, encouraging you to love people with the things you do. God bless.